Hello, this is another tough video, tell a friend video, and this time on system thinking versus dogma thinking. So are you a system thinker or a dogmatic thinker? And now this is maybe best explained in a discussion. Let's say we have this is a discussion. Discussion. And so we have, let's put it the simplest way. The easiest way would be whether you think yourself in your brain using these different approaches. But let's say person A and person B discuss. And so they put their arguments into the discussion. Now, let's say this here is the system thinker, and I'm actually in favor of the system thinker, although sometimes the dogmatic thinking is not bad because you cannot think about everything. So sometimes you have to use external thoughts. You take a book and say, I believe what is in this book, and then I don't think it through. Because sometimes it's very difficult to develop your own system for a complex matter. But what I want to explain here is this what happens in the brain. Now, if you are a dogma thinker, that means you have a list of things that are your dogmas. And these dogmas are actually fixed. You know, they have been written down, you have read them and memorized them, so they are part of your brain. And you will use them and tell them, give them into the discussion. And now the thing is, no matter what reply you get, you only have these dogmas. So you can only give these back. So what happens in your brain, if we now draw your brain, that's your brain. What I use here for simplicity, a one brain model, so I don't do intellect, reptile and limbic system, just one brain. And now the thing is, you do not alter your things. Your associations in the brain are dominated, by these beliefs, so you have these in there and you don't alter them. And usually they are made like that they make sense. So they self-support each other. So they are, this dogma, often in a book or in a belief system, is in itself very difficult to change. You couldn't kind of modify one sentence, because that would imply that you have to change other sentences as well. And this whole dogma would, this card house, would actually fall apart, and be destroyed. And you don't want that to happen. Now, if you look at the system thinker, what he does is he goes, and I experience that with myself very much. And it remembers when I did physics tests or math tests, but also other tests, I never wanted to remember things by memory. So to memorize things, if that exercise or this test will have this question, then I answer that. No, I always went into an exam like saying, I don't know the formula, but I can actually think about what this formula may be. And during the exam, I actually developed the formula again, obviously very, very quickly, but I developed the formula myself. So physics or math formula. Now, doing that, now let's go with a discussion. So I go into a discussion with an empty, so I do not have a belief sheet, but what I have is, and that is now here, I want to draw the brain here, still also only the one brain model. Now, what you have is these associations, and you have associations that you have created. So this is state association, state one. You go into that discussion, and then when you go through, let's say you hear something that comes from that side, then that hits your associative brain. You have that belief system, you have a thought, and now this comes in. So that creates some more associations. You allow this to come in, and it alters your associations because you have to reply to that. You don't have a list of things. You have to kind of throw this input into your system and then think it through. And so what you do, what the system thinker does in a discussion, and it's very, very hard mentally, cognitively, it's very tiring because it takes a lot of energy. There's a lot of energy consumption when you have to break up associations, you change associations, you add things to it, you add what you heard here, a new example, okay, that makes something, okay, I have to change a little bit here and there, and then you give a reply. So that means during a discussion, you alter your brain, you have A1, A2, so association 3, and so on. And when you come out of the discussion, you are actually a 1,000, you have gone through 1,000 changes in your brain, whereas the dogmatic thinker, he goes through and he still, has his same, the same stuff in here. So it's the same. So the associations in his brain are not altered. So he goes in with A1 and comes out with A1. And this is the big difference. And now if you look at politicians, how do you think politicians discuss? And this is one of the critics I have heard a lot of times. Politicians go into a discussion and they have their beliefs, and the other politician, so you have P1, P2, P3 politician, and they go into a discussion on TV. And, the thing is, they just throw in their stuff, and it is a one-way street. They are not system thinkers. So they are dogma thinkers. And that is why it's completely and utterly useless to have political discussions, because they just throw dogma into the discussion, and it's a one-way street. So now the thing is, I cannot say, as Shakespeare says, there's no good, there's no bad. The thinking makes it so. So is this good? Is this good? I don't know. I know that's why I draw it in green. So I like this, but I cannot judge that somebody has to think in that way. So if somebody is a dogma thinker, okay, fine. And I think if you look at the different thought systems about the different tasks you have during a day, you are often a dogma thinker. So there is not I'm always a system thinker. It is like you call a handyman in, and you say, yeah, fix the kitchen sink, and you don't think about it. He says he's going to buy a new thingy here and this, and he has to change this, and you might say, okay, then I believe that the handyman knows it, and then in that respect you are a dogma thinker. Your dogma is the handyman knows it, and he seems reasonably intelligent and experienced, so I believe that he does it right. If he then messes up your kitchen sink, you might start to think about it, and you might discover, what an idiot, or what a wrong, I don't want to say idiot, but what a wrong decision he took here. And so maybe then you discover, that was wrong what he did. But for a moment, you kind of thought, I give that to him. And now the thing is, how often are you a system thinker, and how often are you a dogmatic thinker? So maybe maybe you are, I'll draw that in blue, maybe the best choice is a 70-30, so that 70 you think yourself, so system thinking, and maybe 30 you give to somebody else and say, look, or I sometimes call them external thinking, because you give specific questions to somebody, or the answer to specific questions to somebody, where you say, I don't want to invest time. I haven't built a system for this specific thing, like fixing the kitchen sink. Now, so you say here, kitchen sink fixing is external. Yeah? That's fine. And you have to do that. Because how can you otherwise deal with all the tasks you have in your world? And so I hope that made it clear. And now the question is, please ask yourself, how much are you a system thinker and how much are you a dogma thinker? And I think if most of the decisions, most of the answers to questions you have come from external. So somebody said, I heard somebody say, it is written here. Then you should kind of think about it. Wait, could I not kind of dig a little bit deeper and question things and do this, what I draw here, with associative thinking, and not going into the trap of just saying, this is my statement and I do not alter it. Yeah. So please go through association 1, after discussion come out as association 100, and then your brain is at least, I think it's more open. So that is with what I want to close. So this is an open brain and this is a closed brain. And now the thing, obviously, I'm in favor of this, but I see that there are tasks where you say, sorry, I have to be closed in this respect, and I just trust others and I do what the others do, and I do not want to alter my system, and at a specific part I do external thinking. Yeah. So that was it. Oh, again, I thought it would be a 2-minute thing. It's now 11 minutes. Thank you for watching, and that was great. I loved that, and comments are most welcome. Bye bye. See you next time.